Hi, Mark. It is Thursday, January the 29th, going on 10 a.m. Eastern. It's going on 3 p.m. GMT. US session well underway and going into the last portion of the European session. Let's have a look at the performance of the US dollar. Fight back yesterday after a very strong sell-off been in place since last week. Yesterday did fight back, and today you're seeing a doji candlestick confirming lack of indecision and lack of direction. Uh, Gap lower to start, try a little lower, try a little higher, but pretty much sitting in the middle of today's range, being supported 95.84, resistance at 96.29. You can see the range is narrow, a lower high than yesterday, a higher low than yesterday. So this tight range here, waiting for some kind of direction in whether the US dollar can continue its fight back, come up and test this resistance level at 96.30 or higher, or if we're going to see a continuation of dollar weakness and sellers look down at the 95.84 support level. Let's have a look at the majors, the euro against the US. Yesterday, you saw the US fighting back, and that's against the trend. The trend is up. That's buying euro, selling US dollar. Weak US dollar has been the theme, same as we saw on the index. Yesterday, the US dollar fight back. Today, looking to continue that fight back, but not much movement, sitting in the middle of today's narrow range, which is 119.36, the support, and 119.96, the resistance. Buyers of euro, sellers of US, continued US dollar weakness. We'll see buyers looking up to get back up to that 120 level or higher. If we're going to see continued selling euro, buying US, if the US is able to fight back, sellers will be looking down at the 119.36 support level. Pound against the US. There you see a doji candlestick again, lack of direction today, uncertainty. I've got resistance matching yesterday's resistance at 138.51. So 3 days in a row with resistance hanging around this area. I've got support at 137.80. We'll see if continued dollar weakness and if buyers of pound, sellers of US can break above this resistance area at the 138.50. If we're going to see selling pound, buying US, if the US can add to yesterday's fight back and see a red candlestick, sellers will be looking down at the 137.80 support level. US dollar against the yen. Again, pretty much doji-like candle, not much of a body. There's the fight back yesterday by the US against the strong, very strong downtrend. Today, unable to maintain the push higher. I've got support at 152.71. I've got resistance at 153.51, sitting in the middle of that range for now. We'll see whether dollar weakness continues, selling US, buying yen. Sellers looking down at the support level and to push lower. Alternatively, whether the US can continue from yesterday's fight back and test this resistance level. The US dollar against the Canadian. And here we see a different pattern to the others. US dollar not able to fight back against the strong Canadian. The trend's been in place also since last week, but you're not seeing US dollar fight back as yet. I've got support even a little lower right now. There's my support at 134.92, just under the 135 level. I've got resistance at 135.64. Red candlestick so far today, selling US dollar, buying Canadian. If that does continue, we'll see whether sellers can even test this 134.92 support level. RSI really oversold. I'm going to put that reading up for you. You'll see it here in the bottom left, and that's sitting at 23. Remember, 30 shows oversold. 23 is extremely oversold. Could be some kind of correction, a pause at least, but we'll see how that plays out. Very strong downward pressure for now. If US dollar buyers can step in, if there is a bit of a bounce off this area around the 135, buyers will be looking up at the 135.64 resistance level. Good trading. We have our resistance and support levels all being tested today. You're seeing it tested here, particularly against the in the US Canadian pair. Good trading. Keep that discipline, and I'll see you at end of day session.